Happiness is often simpler than we think. It's not some big, unreachable goal. Sometimes, it's as simple as being healthy and having a poor memory, because a bad memory helps us forget the small things that don't really matter. In a way, being able to forget things that weigh us down can lead us to a happier life. It's the little things like good health that make the biggest difference. While it might feel like praying could change the world, in reality, prayers change the people who say them. And it's people, after all, who can change the world. Each of us has the power to make a difference, not through grand gestures or dramatic acts, but by simply changing ourselves for the better. Optimism is the ability to see opportunities even in tough situations. An optimist is someone who always sees a green light, a chance to go forward no matter what obstacles come their way. On the other hand, a pessimist will only see the red light, focusing on the barriers and challenges instead of the paths that lie ahead. But the truly wise person, they don't see the world in terms of colors at all. They understand that life isn't about pushing forward without pause, but about understanding and accepting what comes their way. Everything in life has its own timing. It may seem like things are chaotic or out of place, but eventually, everything falls into its proper place. Until that happens, we should laugh at the confusion, enjoy the present moment, and trust that everything happens for a reason. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes we just need to live through the chaos and wait for things to make sense. When people criticize us, it can be easy to get defensive. But instead of responding with anger or frustration, we can respond with action. Show the world your worth through your achievements. Let your success speak for itself. At times, we get so caught up in reaching our big goals that we forget to appreciate the smaller things around us. We look at the moon, aiming for something grand, but fail to notice the beautiful flowers that are blooming at our feet. The key is to strike a balance. Don't forget to look at the beauty in the present while still reaching for your dream. As we age, our faces change. At 20, we wear the face we were born with. By 40, we show the signs of the life we've lived. But by the time we're 60, the face we wear is the one we've earned through our experiences. Our faces tell the story of our journey. Happiness is unique in that it grows when we share it. Unlike many other things in life, happiness doubles when you give it away. It's a simple but powerful truth. The more you share your joy with others, the more it spreads and grows, not just for you, but for everyone around you. It's as though happiness is one of the few things that only gets bigger when you give it away. The speed of a ship doesn't determine its success. Instead, it's whether or not the ship stays on course that matters. In the same way, it's not always about how quickly we reach our goals, but whether or not we stick to the right path, no matter how long it takes. Some people feel unhappy because they're racing against time, constantly comparing themselves to others. But true success comes from focusing on your own path, moving at your own pace. It's a sad truth that many people don't realize how happy they are. Some know that they're unhappy, but far more people are unaware of the happiness they already have. Life is busy, and we're often too caught up in problems to appreciate the blessings we already have. Sometimes, the key to happiness is simply noticing it. In the midst of life's struggles, we can find two special ways to escape, through music and through the companionship of cats. Music has the power to lift us up and heal our spirits, and cats have a calming presence that can make any difficult day feel a little bit easier. Both offer comfort in different ways, providing us with a sense of peace and refuge from the chaos of life. If you love something deeply, set it free. If it's truly meant to be, it will come back to you. If it doesn't, then it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes, we need to let go of the things we hold dear, trusting that if they're meant to return, they will. But we also have to accept that not everything will stay in our lives forever, and that's okay. Kindness is a powerful force. It has the ability to melt even the hardest hearts, just like the sun melts ice. When we show kindness, it can dissolve misunderstandings, break down mistrust, and turn hostility into friendship. A little act of kindness can go a long way, making the world around us a better place. Do something for someone every day without expecting anything in return. It doesn't matter if you don't get paid, the simple act of helping others is enough reward in itself. Whether it's lending a hand, offering a kind word, or simply being there for someone in need, your actions can make a big difference in someone else's life. If you want to make a difference in the world, don't expect everything to be easy. When you try to do good, obstacles will come your way. People might not clear the path for you, and some challenges may even make your journey harder. But the key is to stay calm and accept whatever comes your way, even if it's not what you expected. Leading by example is the most powerful way to influence others. It's not about telling people what to do, but showing them through your actions. People are inspired by the way you live your life, not just by what you say. If you want to make a positive impact on the world, be the example that others can look up to. Living for others can make life harder, but it also makes it richer and more rewarding. When we live selfishly, we miss out on the deeper meaning that comes from helping others. But when we shift our focus and seek to do good in the world, even in small ways, our lives become fuller, happier, and more meaningful. We don't need to do grand things. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can have the biggest impact. Life is about making a difference, even if that difference is small. Whether it's helping a neighbor, listening to a friend, or offering a hand to someone in need, every little bit counts. It doesn't matter if you don't get paid for it. Sometimes the privilege of helping others is the only reward you need. We live in an age where technology and progress seem to be everything, but there's a danger in trying to control everything around us before we've learned to control ourselves. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, trying to change the world without first understanding ourselves. But true change starts within, and we must take the time to look inward and work on our own growth. Sometimes, finding what we're looking for takes longer than we expect. We may have to wait, and sometimes disappointment is part of the journey. But even in the face of setbacks, we should never give up. Keep searching for what matters, and remember that everything happens for a reason. When we think about death, we can begin to appreciate life more deeply. When we recognize the fragility of life, we start to treasure each day, each moment, and each opportunity we have. Life is precious because it's temporary, and the more we understand that, the more we learn to live fully. The purpose of life isn't to accumulate wealth or status. It's to serve others, show compassion, and help those in need. When we live with a sense of responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the world around us, we fulfill our true purpose. Ultimately, we must stop blaming our circumstances for our problems. Instead, we need to take responsibility for our actions and choices. We have the power to shape our lives, and it's up to each of us to make the most of it. Our happiness, success, and fulfillment come from the way we respond to life, not from the outside world. We must learn to exercise our will, control our actions, and stay true to our values. A key to success is living life in a way that doesn't leave you worn out or tired. You should always keep your energy, enthusiasm, and curiosity alive. Life is full of changes, and some of them might make you feel exhausted. But it's important to keep your spirit fresh, as this is what helps you grow and continue moving forward. When it comes to love, we often find that the things we adored about someone at first can, over time, become annoying. Those little quirks that were once charming might begin to feel like flaws. This is part of life. Love is a complex feeling, and as time passes, it may lose some of its spark. But that doesn't mean the love is gone, it just means you must work harder to maintain it. We should never let the world around us silence the voice of humanity that resides in each of us. It's easy to get caught up in the busy pace of life, but we must remember that compassion, kindness, and understanding are what make us human. These qualities are what define our true nature. If there's something you possess and can't share or let go of, then it's not truly yours, it owns you. The more we hold on to things, the more we are controlled by them. It's essential to remember that the true meaning of ownership is being able to share freely. Think of the willow tree that bends in the storm compared to the oak tree that stands rigid. The willow, though it appears weaker, often survives better because it adapts. It's a reminder that flexibility and resilience are sometimes more important than stubbornness and pride. In life's challenges, it's often the lighthearted, adaptable individuals who bounce back quicker than those who carry heavy burdens of seriousness. When we begin to realize that life is unpredictable and full of mystery, we begin to think deeper. It's not enough to just go through the motions of living. Being content with just existing isn't fulfilling. Life is much more than working to make a living or taking care of our families. While these are important, we need to go beyond this basic level of existence and strive for something greater. It's about growing, learning, and making a real difference. Though we are all surrounded by people, many of us still feel deeply lonely. We might share physical space with others, but often we are emotionally disconnected. It's a paradox of modern life. The cure for loneliness lies in compassion, in reaching out, and in offering your help to others. Seek to make a positive impact wherever you go, no matter how small the gesture might seem. When we help others, we also help ourselves grow. Each of us must embark on our own personal journey to discover our true worth. This isn't a one-size-fits-all path. It's unique for every individual. It's easy to get lost in routine, but we must remember that there's more to life than just working and surviving. True fulfillment comes when we find meaning in our actions and find ways to contribute to the greater good. Take time to consider the people around you. You don't live in isolation. There are human beings who need your support, your love, and your attention. The more you connect with others, the more you realize that we're all in this together. The world isn't yours alone to control or dominate, it's shared with everyone, and they have as much right to it as you do. The real tragedy of life isn't the challenges we face, but rather the things that die inside us while we're still alive. It's the loss of passion, the dulling of dreams, and the fading of hope. As we age and encounter difficulties, it's easy for our inner fire to be extinguished, but we must keep that fire burning, or we risk losing what makes us truly alive. When we are kind, we focus less on the negative traits of others. Kindness allows us to see people in a more positive light, and we become more patient, understanding, and accepting. The more we practice compassion, the less we are bothered by imperfections. Instead of focusing on flaws, we begin to appreciate people for who they truly are. Don't let your Sundays pass you by without meaning. If you neglect your soul, it becomes like an orphan lost and without direction. Sunday, or any day of rest, should be a time to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with yourself and the world. Without this balance, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the demands of life. Never stay silent when asked about your thoughts, opinions, or experiences. Your voice has the power to inspire and enlighten others. Speaking up doesn't just share your perspective, it opens up opportunities for connection. The words you say can influence the world in ways you might not even realize. There are truths in the world that go unnoticed for a long time simply because no one has yet seen their potential. It's often not until someone takes the time to listen or observe that these truths come to light. It's a reminder that what we believe today might not always be the full picture. Practice gratitude and always express it when you feel it. Don't wait until tomorrow to say thank you or show appreciation. Gratitude is a gift both for the person who receives it and for you, as it nourishes your soul. Feeling joy from doing good deeds is the kind of inner satisfaction we all need to thrive. I firmly believe that the goal of humanity is to become kinder, more compassionate, and more understanding with each passing day. As we progress, we must work toward creating a world where humanity thrives in its fullest, most compassionate form. This ideal of humanity should never be forgotten. It needs to be revived and nurtured so that we can continue to grow as a species.